Hey everybody, Phil Eichinger. Hopefully this won't be a super long video. By the way, am a recovering alcoholic of almost 15 years and prescription pill addict, which I got off of everything 20 months ago. And my disclaimer is I'm not a doctor. I think that for some folks diagnosed with general anxiety disorder like I was and depression, I was given opioids, I was given at different times benzos, and at different times antidepressants. So, I mean, polydrugged, and for some people they're lifesavers. For me, after they stopped working, they actually turned on me, and I knew that I needed to get off. And I also didn't like the fact that I was living my life numb, and the special people in my life were getting bits and pieces of me, but not the best version of me, because I couldn't feel. And that's what happened to me. So what I want to talk about today is, there's really, I was thinking about this with my mom's funeral last week. There's three words that I've come to loathe. I mean, really hate, because they have tripped me up and really hurt me in terms of my life and my relationship with the people that I love and care about. The first one is forgiveness. For a long time I withheld forgiveness from people who had hurt me, where simply talking it through, or at least having boundaries to express my opinions and feelings and not worrying about what the chips would fall or what would happen, would have been a big help for me. I just didn't have the toolkit. I didn't know any better. And so I withheld forgiveness from people that I should not have for a long time. Stubbornness, my approach was, if you're stubborn and you're proud of it, then I'll be more stubborn and more proud of it. And we will blow things up in terms of personal relationships that were magical and unbelievable, all in the name of who can win the game of being more stubborn. Ridiculous shit. Granted, I mean, to sit back here and see it now with a clear head, it really frustrates you. But I think the kingpin of all of them is regret. And I was fortunate that I cleared things up with my mom and my dad in terms of regret. And I'm not talking forgiveness regret. Forgiveness, you may have felt like you've done nothing wrong. Someone else may have felt like they've done nothing wrong. There's a difference. I'm talking about regret. Regret is things that keep me stumbling, where I know I can make it right, but I'm either ashamed, embarrassed, or apprehensive. And I think that if it just goes on and I ignore it, that it'll go away. And really, it grows and grows and grows and becomes a snowball running downhill, and really affects your life. I mean, the old saying, resentment is like taking poison and thinking the other person will die, is such a great statement. And to me, it's kind of what regret is. Holding regret in, it will kill you. And it will take the happiness and meaningfulness out of the people and the relationships that you most want to work and really want to have, and you want to show people and be with people and have them enjoy yourself, and for them the best version of yourself. And so the whole story is, I said some things at the funeral which I meant about my mom and dad. And we're on good footing. I love my dad. I think he's a hero for what he did. He was divorced from my mom for 30 plus years, but toward the end still showed up every day to help my sister with care of my mom. And I thought that that's what real men do. And I told him so. And my mom, I didn't talk to for, and a lot of people, this will be the first time you guys hear this, I didn't talk to my mom for almost 10 years, because I was pretty disgusted with some things, and it was stuff that could have been easily worked out, but again, it's not for this video, but because it opens up a whole can of worms of some things that that made it tough earlier in my life. And what I've come to accept is that people that you're not pleased with in terms of their behavior, or like with I'm just using parents as an example. It could be your partner, your spouse, your soulmate, your best friend. A lot of times they're just doing the best they can based on the tools that they were given. They were never shown how to show love. They weren't told to be codependent to an alcoholic, but their mother was to their father, and that's the lesson they learned. And none of what they did was malicious. It's just that they didn't know any better. They had no tools. And for me to not have a relationship with those folks out of my anger, and not understand their backstory, was unfair. And so I made the decision to fix it, to make it right. I mean, they may have suffered from worse abandonment or insecurity or fear, or alcoholic parents or issues that I don't even know about, back in a time when life really was rough. So I made my peace, and I don't want to regret anything. And when you don't regret, you have a freedom, and a clear conscience, and you just feel good about yourself, and who you are as a human being. And so, look, if you're, here's what I got out of what I said last week, and a lot of you were there and heard me. Here's what I got out of it when I reflected, and I went down to Florida and got to watch some women's softball over the weekend, and got to unwind, and got to look at the ocean and walk on the beach and think. And what I thought about was, step 4 of AA is make a searching and fearless moral inventory of yourself, and find those that you have that you have regrets with, basically, and square it. A lot of people aren't in that position. A lot of people lose people, and they don't expect it. Time marches on. Time is fleeting. Time is flying by. And we have the best intentions to square things up, and we never freaking do it. And then we are forced to live with regret for the rest of our lives, and when that person's gone, in eternity. So here's my message to you. My message to you today is this. And I need to do it more. For people that I love in my family, love you and love you too, that's not good enough. Love you and love you too is great for acquaintances and good friends. But for my sister and for my dad and mom, I love you is what works. And I try to make it a point now to tell the people in my inner circle that I really care about, and the people that have been there for me and have fought through this battle with me over the last 20 months of a hellacious withdrawal and addiction to prescribed medication. I love them, and I tell them that I love you, and the people that I had regrets with, I've gone to, and it, like I said, it's not making amends or forgiveness. That's a different topic. It's regrets that I know if I don't square them now, they will haunt me forever. And so you can even say there's a selfish component to it, but the relief and the just air out of the balloon in your head you get when you do it is amazing. So what I'll tell you is, if you got a beef with your mom, call her up tonight. If you can't go see her, call her. Or your dad, or your sister. Me and my sister had some of the stupidest fights where we didn't talk for too long. And thank God I got to sit with my mom every Saturday night for the last 3 years and talk this shit through. And thank God I got to say in front of a group that I love my dad and I'm proud of the way he showed up as a man for my mom at the end. He showed up where other people didn't show up. He showed up. And my sister. And I'm the lucky one. And I will tell you this, be the lucky one too. If they're there, go to them. God damn it, put your pride aside and your stubbornness and fucking go to them and say, look, you know, we've had this issue, we've had that issue. I just want to take ownership for my part of it, and I don't even feel like I did anything wrong. I just want to talk. Just want to talk about what happened, and you'll get somewhere. So it's so easy to solve some of this shit, and we just won't do it. Because it's all tied together. Like I said, forgiveness, regret, and stubbornness, and they're just three ugly, ugly words. So call your dad tonight. Call your sister tonight that you haven't spoken to in a while. Call your brother that you know, or your stepbrother, or your friend that you fought with, and talk to them, and get it done. Get it done. Because I tell you, you never know what's going to happen. As many of you know, a dear family friend came up from out of state to my mom's funeral to pay their condolences, and it was my cousin, and her husband passed the day of the funeral. You just don't know, and if you've got a shot, please God, don't blow it. Get it right now, and don't ever have to regret it. Now, the question that came up to someone I talked to 2 nights ago is, what happens if they're dead? And I got great advice from my mom on this, because I was talking to her about someone alive that I still that I had regrets with. And my mom, and those of you who know my mom will laugh, her answer was, write a letter. And so I, you know, write a letter to the deceased person that you wish you were there, that you were fighting with when they passed, or that you, through no fault of your own, just couldn't make it there. Write them a letter. If you want to forgive somebody for something that happened when you were younger, John Bradshaw says, write it with your non-dominant hand. And that'll tap into the side of your brain, your parasympathetic side of your brain, that actually will allow you be in a childlike state. And if you're right-handed and write left-handed in the letter, and you read it and you look at the writing, and it'll look like a 9-year-old wrote it, it'll give you great peace. So that's number one. If you have regret, tonight, there's always a better time for everything. There's always a better time to get clean. There's always a better time to stop drinking. If I wait to Easter, I've got the kids' break. I can wait till Christmas. Well, if I wait till summer, there's always a better time. Don't wait. Don't wait. Don't wait. Do it. And then the other thing I'll say is, moving forward, do what you do to follow your passion, and don't have any regrets from here on out. I've watched friends of mine, Jacqueline, I've watched you move to Vermont and pick up and leave New York. Ballsy, starting a new life in the Nordic frontier. Gary, what I've watched you, and I'm sure you'll watch this, Gary, what you've done with your yoga and becoming a master trainer and hosting your own classes, and things that you're my age, things that you always wanted to do and never did, but thought about forever and ever and ever, and probably had 30, 40 years of regret. You did it, and I'm proud of all these people in my life that show me every day that it can be handled. And I'm telling you, it's never as bad as you think it's going to be. It never is. So if you got regrets, either with people in your past that you still have a chance, if they're gone, write them a letter. Doesn't matter if they're not here to see it. You can read it aloud to them yourself. And in your future, whether it's changing careers or following your passion or following your dream, don't turn, when it comes time for eternity, right? Don't turn the car in unless that gas tank says E, and there's not one regret. So have a good day, everybody. I love everybody. Thanks for your support. Please pass on anything that you think is valuable. Subscribe and hit the bell, and you'll be notified anytime I put up an additional video. Take care.